An unusual case of bullying is getting national attention today. 15-year-old Benji Backer says he was the target of harassment, name-calling, and foul language. Not from his classmates, but from his teachers. Backer says they disagree with his conservative political views, which he's made known. And he says they didn't just pick on him, but they also attacked his family. The situation got so bad, at one point, Benji had to switch schools. Benji Backer joins us live now from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Benji, welcome to the program. It's unbelievable to read your story and how you chronicle instance after instance in which various teachers, and not just one, had a serious issue with your support of Governor Romney, your support of Scott Walker, and what they perceived as your non-support of the teachers in their battle with your governor. What was the worst incident?
The worst incident, Megan, was with my English teacher. He had a day in class early this year where he decided to tell me that small business workers and owners take off Fridays and summers. He also told me that he worked harder than my dad. He told me that he didn't have enough money to stabilize his family working for the teachers, so he had to work in the summer painting houses. And this went on for a few months. Throughout those few months, he asked how much my parents made. He again told me how much harder he worked. And I actually looked up his salary and showed it to him. In the 2010 to 2011 school year, he was making $105,000, including benefits. It's absurd that he would say something like that, especially about my family, in front of a whole class as well. And wow. He was also indoctrinating the students.
And I know that in that instance, you went to the principal and said, you know, look, this isn't really appropriate and I'd like it to stop. And the principal said, right, talk with the teacher first. You went back and spoke with the teacher. He heard you out. And then at the end of it, he said to you, you know how you went down to the principal's office? And you said, yes. And give us the cleaned up version of what he then said to you.
Well, he said, well, I do not give a SHIT. It was something that totally shocked me. It took me aback, and I asked him why. And he said, well, the principal and I are good friends, so it really doesn't matter. It was something that was completely shocking to me.
When you go through the list, I mean, this isn't the only time, as I mentioned, but you had, before the 2010 midterm elections, you were in the local paper, and one of your teachers made it very clear she disapproved of your engagement, saying you were wrong and misguided for being Republican. You wound up having to switch schools, but the problems continued. Are there other students who are activists, either on the right or the left, in these schools you attended?
There are multiple students that are active. Many I have gotten active, and then of course there are some people on the left side who are active. And it's frustrating to them as well. But what worries me is the other students. The other students have to sit through these classes and hear these teachers have these views about Scott Walker and Mitt Romney, but they also see another student getting harassed or bullied, and they don't know what to do. As a student, it is scary to stand up to a teacher because they can judge you, they can view you in a completely different way, and they are ultimately in charge of your future. They're in charge of your grades and your test scores. And so it's hard to stand up and say something, and it's tough for every other student around the country. This isn't just an Appleton issue. This is a national issue.
Where did you get the guts to do that? I mean, where did you find the courage to take a stand?
Well, I was told by a few people that I should write this article. I posted it on FreedomWorks, and it's gotten a lot of attention because of how many students across the country have felt this way. And I posted it for that reason. I had the guts to do this because this isn't about me. I will have negative repercussions because of this. But it's about the other students across the country who are dealing with these same problems, who need this to stop in the public school system.
No, you won't. You won't have negative repercussions, because I can tell you right now, if there are negative repercussions to you for speaking out and being active politically in a way that's not disruptive, but just consistent with your own families and your belief system, you'll come back on the program and we'll name names, and these people will be shamed because they can't be doing this to 15-year-olds and 12-year-olds, which you were when this started, with impunity. I want to ask you before I let you go, they're investigating now. Do you feel like the principal cares? You feel like somebody's looking out for you now?
I do. The principal at my high school that I go to now has cared throughout this whole process. I'm glad that the school board is investigating. It's something that needed to be done, and I hope that they do what's right. But I'm also hoping for school boards across the country to take notice. I want them to take notice and start a rule that says politics should be left out of the classroom, and in that case, only in government classes should politics be talked about, and that is
Benji,
it, in a fair and balanced way.
Thanks for being here. We'll be right back.